Hello everyone, I am today into an Optimism Fractal special interview and I have the pleasure to be for the first time with Zaal of the ZAO community. How are you, Zaal, today?
I'm doing amazing. It's a beautiful Tuesday. It's good to be here.
Absolutely, we enjoy to go through your background and then the ZAO Fractal. Long story, short story, so floor is yours, Zaal.
Yeah, for sure. Hey everyone. So I am an engineer. I spent 5 years at RIT in New York. I'm getting my electrical engineering degree, and the last 2 years after that, I spent in automation out in Oregon. And in my time in Oregon, I created the ZAO community. And that started from meeting a musician back in college. In 2019, I met Django and really got an understanding of what it meant to create music, what the music production side of things needed to be. And I realized that I could pair really well with him and try and get him everything he needs to do that's not making music, and try and take care of that so that he could essentially focus on his art, getting better at his craft and making more of his art. And in that realization, I realized I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to build something bigger than myself, and I wanted to build something for musicians. And last year in 2023, I kind of stumbled down the blockchain rabbit hole, and the rest was history. Everything in the blockchain space was super in line with everything we're building, kind of as a tech startup, and really focusing on the entrepreneurship level, but then also thinking about the creatives that are out there that have had to, in the last 10, 15 years, transition from being only musicians to being entrepreneurs as well. And with the advent of crypto technology, we realized at the ZAO what we could do is demystify emerging technology for creatives to really empower independent artists and show these creatives, if they want to put the effort in and want to get 100% of the profit and keep their IP rights, that they can do that. And there's a way to make that happen. So
We say ZAO Fractal. Is there a meaning behind the word ZAO in itself, indeed?
yeah, for sure. So, for the ZAO, it was actually created from my number two, Candy Toy Box. She ideated the name, the ZAO, as a play on the words DAO as we started to transition. I met her in a DAO that we were a part of that had 40 members, and that when I joined had about six. And by the time we were talking about the ZAO, it was just the two of us left. So we realized we could use what we learned from the experience on that DAO to start something anew, create from scratch, and build kind of something in the vision of what we had seen and what was out there. So that's kind of how it started. The name is the ZTalent Artist Organization. It's super awesome. I love that Candy thought of that. And I'm super excited because all of the community members that have joined and really contributed to anything we've done in 2024, since the ZAO has started, have been a huge value add on everything I've been doing for the last 5 years, because previously I had been bootstrapping everything on my own. And to be able to have a team and a community of individuals out there that not only have time and energy for specific tasks, but are also experienced and have that background in some of these tasks that I may not have as much experience in. It's amazing to be able to offload some of that work and into the community and have the community help create this community by community for community.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to do the things very agile, and I think the ZAO Fractal for that, with the musicians and all, is a good organization. So maybe that's the time to break down a bit what is this ZAO Fractal. So maybe first, how it is organized.
The ZAO Fractal was really created and started from another organization and group and community, Optimism Fractal out there. Dan Singjoy, who has been a phenomenal contributor and helper with the ZAO Fractal and helping us build what we've been building, helps organize Optimism Fractal. And from my perspective, coming in and joining a space like that, I instantly recognized the value of the fractal governance and the fractal decision-making process in joining, and was able to contribute early, and also get myself involved and realize that I could not only utilize this technology, but also be a contributing member, community member of the Optimism Fractal community, was super amazing. And it essentially took me about 6 or 8 months from joining the community to then implementing it into our community. And that process uh, was huge because in the taking of time to really delve into how it works and how Optum as a fractal community is created, the way we wanted to structure it for the ZAO in terms of art and creatives, it was a lot more challenging to have that central vision of what Optimism has is around the Optimism blockchain. So for us at the ZAO, what we've created as our central vision is empowering and creating technology and music, whether that be, and music transcends that to art. So if you're working on anything in the music and tech space, and the music space goes broader to the art space as a whole, you can be contributing to the ZAO. And it's in kind of your vision of how you see forwarding that industry and forwarding that space. So in transitioning from the vision of what have you done to contribute to Optimism Fractal to what have you done to contribute to the ZAO's vision, took us 8 months to kind of really figure out how we could incorporate it into what we're building. And taking those 8 months has been an amazing journey, because as I've been able to create fractal meetings every week, we've also been able to see individuals in the Optimism Fractal community creating pieces of technology that support the fractal respect game, and things that we can now downstream a community of Optimism Fractal inherit a lot of these tools because we're also using that technology. So to me, that's kind of the coolest thing about transitioning and being able to fork essentially what Optimism Fractal has created to our community, to where we can really help progressively decentralize our collective community into a DAO. And that's been the biggest reason for incorporating the ZAO fractals and the reason why I wanted to get it started.
Absolutely. Optimism Fractal is a great incubator for Web3 builders joining every week. It's on the Thursday at 1700 UTC. You will find the link into the description for that. And big shout out to the team. So that was a pleasant experience for you. And now I think it's the time to present a bit about your project.
This is our ZAO fractal presentation that we give at the beginning of each fractal to teach new individuals and individuals that are in our community what we're doing and why we're here at that hour. We tend to have our ZAO fractal meetings at 6 p.m. Eastern, which is 23 UTC, I believe. But our ZAO fractal presentation starts out with what the ZAO is, and telling individuals that we utilize fractal governance. And then we go on to the objectives of the ZAO, which are empowerment, transparency, sustainability, and equitable distribution. So our ZAO governance works by having a decentralized structure, and our goal is to use this ZAO fractal to progressively decentralize our community by giving individuals in our community ZAO tokens to be able to envision and create and manifest the future of our community. We use fractal governance, which are smaller groups making decisions that scale up to the entire organization. And our goal is to utilize token-based incentives, but illiquid and soul-bound tokens specifically, where you can only earn them by participating in our events. And I think that that is something that once I saw the value of what Optimism Fractal was bringing with these tokens, I got very excited, because there's not a lot of people in this industry, in this space, that are on the level of having your whales be your top supporters and contributors, not necessarily the people with the most money. And I think that incentivizes your community to grow in a more positive way. Individuals can also earn tokens for different other activities. Asynchronously, they can introduce themselves in the Discord and fill out the community form for 15 points. In the respect game, I've added extra points for people that have turned on their cameras because I've seen that as a challenge in the spaces that I've been a part of, which I actually really love what Dancing Joy has created and has naturally created that atmosphere. For individuals that are helping me by hosting other groups when there's more than 6 individuals, we're also giving points out to those individuals for spending time, being involved, being a leader in the space. And then we've also created some token incentives for our newsletter as well to get people involved and really creating different incentives that are out there that can help our community grow as a whole. And one of those last ways is by being an artist on our website that we just recently voted in as a proposal.
Love it.
So, yeah, one of the challenges I was talking about earlier was explaining to everyone exactly what you're voting on because the vision as a ZAO as a whole is pretty broad, where it's about advancing music and technology, but it's kind of broken down here into 4 things: contribution, collaboration, innovation, and onboarding. Contribution is your art, what you create in the space, what you're doing. Collaboration is anyone you're working with at all in the space. That's not a solo venture. Innovation is something you're doing that you believe maybe not no one else is doing, but very few people in the space are doing and thinking and trying to be on the cutting edge of industry, whether that be on music or in the blockchain space, which I know a lot of individuals are finding new ways to create a business. And then onboarding new members, whether that be into the Fractal as a whole, into the ZAO community, into crypto as a broad perspective, and also into the Web3 music space. So kind of any of those things that individuals are doing, we want them to share during our weekly meetings so that other people can see the value they bring to the space. Then we end off with an example of the FractalGram exactly picture by picture how it works because we have a lot of individuals that are less experienced in our community in the ZAO Fractal with a lot of the developer tools and the ways to play around that usually most developers can kind of not have any friction with. So I have a step-by-step example of how the FractalGram works and how to reply that I noticed at one point was very beneficial for getting new individuals to understand exactly how the rest of the hour and meeting will play out. But that's usually the presentation I give. We have to update this last page.
Thank you, Zaal. Nice presentation, straight to the point. We love it. And yeah, for sure, this presentation is accessible through the website. And maybe that will be great to show the website.
100%. So on our website, the ZAO.com, at the very top, there's a button with the ZAO token. And as we have a little bit of a breakdown and overview of the token, our presentation is right here and available for anyone to access that wants to take a longer look at it.
I love the website. It's very well organized, also light graphic line, very well made. And can you show us a little bit the musicians that are into the community currently?
Yeah, 100%. So on our website, we have a long list of different artists that have collaborated and contributed to the ZAO as a whole. And our website was initially built with all of these musicians for our first event, which was ZAOpalooza, where we created QR codes that led back to our website, but our website had all of the musicians' social media, a bio, and some photos so that this could be a hub for these musicians that could be different link tree of sorts, but that actually adds value to our SEO as a whole, as well as being able to spotlight them in our community on our website. So some of these musicians are also on our homepage, like Django is here. And any of the musicians you can tap into and see any of their music or any more of their information. So,
There
yeah.
are some people into the Optimism Fractal that love the music. Sure, we have Zaal here. Myself, I love also music. I love to listen to those artists. There are many projects, and this project is very cool. I love the website. I love the vibes, and that's use the fractal process. What is the current stage of your project, ZAO Fractal?
So we just had our 24th meeting this week. We are working on a lot of different things. We currently have about 7,000 respect tokens distributed out between all of the individuals that are a part of the ZAO, and that's distributed around 80 different individuals that have participated in something that I showed and shared earlier. And it's been an awesome journey because that presentation that I just gave you was not there on the first or second or third episode. It started around the 10th episode, and that wasn't the presentation that was there on the 10th episode. It's been iterated on as different community members have given feedback. And I very much am enjoying the place we're in. Our ultimate goal is to utilize some of the pieces and tools of technology that have been created by the Optimism Fractal community members, like ORDAO. And that's one of our next steps in transitions in 2025, is to have a more formalized way of having the ZAO fractal points becoming distributed, as well as having official documentation, as well as the help and amazing leadership of the individuals that are there in Optimism Fractal. So our goal is to ultimately see what Optimism Fractal is doing, see how they're liking different tools that are out there, and being able to integrate them into our community and showcasing all of these creatives that are a lot less in the tech development world, what some of the tools that are out there, and being able to spotlight that, and individuals that they can reach out to potentially and connect with if they have an idea of their own that might be something that they can't do at this moment, but they could potentially do with a collaboration in the future.
To Tadas Betikunas is indeed the developer, the creator of FractalGram. He has evolved with ORDAO and OREC. Other video on that. You can watch it also, see the video description. And basically, he's transitioning to something more agile with this governance processes that has been accepted for 2025 to go with. And we have also another great contributor developer. It's Abraham Baker with the UI for the respect game inside into Optimism Fractal, but that Web3 builders like you can benefit on when you are creating your indeed your organization, your fractal like ZAO Fractal. That's very fantastic here to see this collaboration growing. And thank you for the presentation with that we find on the website for sure. Okay, so we speak of that as protocol. Maybe we can now transition to that because it's about how to give indeed also more incentivizing by having an ad and reputation thing. Yeah, we can transition on that.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, Zaal, that's okay. Zaal, if we stop at okay, Zaal, let's speak about the ads tree for ZAO Fractal.
Yeah, 100%. So ZAO Fractal is actually a part of the ZAO hats tree that we're creating right now. And that all started when I spoke with Kingfisher's Media a few months ago, talking to him about the different ways that we could go from our collective to an actual DAO. and collectively decentralize. And one of the suggestions he said was to join Let's Grow DAO and meet another amazing member in there, Wasabi. And as Wasabi was hearing about what we were creating, what we were doing, he suggested Hats Protocol, which is a protocol I'd actually heard of about a year and a half ago with my Ethereum PDX developers, which was which was an awesome time. And just hearing that, I actually deployed my first tree, the 25th Optimism fractal tree. However, I didn't really know what I was doing, and I pushed different things on chain that I can't now continue to use. So after I created it, I took a step back and knew that I wanted to come back to it when I had something finalized. And as it got resuggested to me as an idea of an organizational chart for the ZAO, it really made sense for me and our organization for really transitioning the power from me as a central authority figure to governance council, and then eventually to the community as a whole. So Hats Protocol is what our steps are to enabling that. And what we had an amazing opportunity last week to chat with David, the Hats founder, as you talked earlier, and have a longer conversation about how we could incorporate our Hats tree. And he gave us a bunch of cool ideas for ways that we could future proof it, and ways that we could really incorporate something that has a flat community structure as much as possible. And the way that that works is at the top is our ZAO community as a whole. It's going to be our community wallet that will be governed initially by our council, and then our council will decide what to do with it. And then under that is going to be all of our different projects. So our first project is ZAO Fractal, one of many projects, and one of the communities that was created from the ZAO before the ZAO Fractal had even started, that was manifested by a community member, Hurricane, is Wave Wars. So Wave Wars is one of our other projects that is out there, that has been approved by our proposals, by our community. So our goal ultimately is to utilize these ZAO tokens as an opportunity for anyone who has a token, who has a future idea, the ZAO tokens can be utilized for anyone that has an idea for a brand, a company, a community, a product, and they can propose this in our community forum proposal. And anyone that sees that as a good idea and wants to manifest that into life can approve that idea with their ZAO tokens and can say, I approve this idea. I want to help out. I think this is a good idea. And also will provide something that they can add value to this project. So a lot of our community members are creative, so they have different skills and assets that they can use, whether that be 3D animation, video editing, mixing, of the sort. There's a lot of different things and tools that are needed for some of these brands and ideas and companies. Like I said earlier, if you want to be a musician, you have to be a whole entrepreneur. And even a music project or a music idea can be proposed and can get other resources that aren't necessarily financial capital, but more social capital. So we're really trying to build a network of social, a network of resources, and really be able to organize those resources cohesively when there's a need for it.
I love it. Again, if you want to join ZAO Fractal, you have an ID, something very innovative, and you want to have a ZAO token, I think all is on the website. Again, into the video description, you find all the links. You will not miss that. In a nutshell, you explain the art tree for ZAO Fractal, but again, we need to see something. So let's share a bit. Thank you.
Awesome. So here is our draft hats tree for what we are building currently. And our goal ultimately is to create as flat of a structure as possible, so new projects will be added under this governance council hat right here. Essentially, every single project that gets proposed and added will get added as a new project under this tree. And ultimately, the governance council members that own that hat will be members of this hat right here. Our goal for our hats tree is to have the first two projects be completely claimable. So the first project is a little bit more of what type of creative you are, whether on the audio side, what type of creative you are, on the visual side, what type of creative you are, entrepreneurially, developer wise, where your expertise is or what you want to work on. And be able to kind of define some specific roles, like I said, the different resources that are out there in the community. The second claimable hat project is location. So this is where an individual, if they really want to get involved with in-person events that we're involved with, they can join their specific location here, all the way to the granular level at what state that they live in, if they're in the US or in other countries, what part of the country they live in, so that we can really connect some of our international members that are out there with other individuals in person. And from that, every other project will have to be assigned a hat by our project manager. So for us, whoever proposes the project as an idea is going to be our project manager. So we have created our first project is going to be ZAO 101. The ZAO 101 is just going to be learning about what the ZAO is and what we do and how to navigate the ZAO. So these are different roles for the ZAO 101, and there's going to be a manager for that. Our ZAO Fractal tree hasn't been finalized yet, so that would be under here as our second project. Wave Wars, as I mentioned, was our first project that was created from the ZAO. And we have our Wave Wars manager here that I'm going to be working on creating his part of the hats tree, how he's going to organize everything that goes into Wave Wars. And ultimately, our goal here is that any money that comes in from Wave Wars gets to be decided how it can be distributed by these managers, so that it is a bunch of individual projects being led by different individuals rather than one individual or the council even deciding everything for all of these projects. And our biggest, go for it. What's your...
Okay, sorry. And are into this tree made of hats, yeah? Every node is an hat. We can claim some hat as a member of ZAO Fractal to receive some, let's say, reputation by claiming this hat, or some privileges, or access to maybe chambers or other things.
Yeah, so we have a Charmverse. So all those integrations we're kind of thinking of in the future. We're thinking org chart, get everyone on here, and then think of the things we can do with it, with the individuals that are on there.
Okay, and this tree will be accessible from your website also through the URL app.
Once it's pushed, yeah, to chain.
.atsprotocol.xyz, then trees, and then the number, and that will be accessible. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, it's accessible right now. It's just the top hat. That's there. It's just this one hat.
Yeah.
But so if you go to edit, this is what it'll look like.
Okay. Okay. I love it. It's not just Zaal himself. That's the made of many people into this like a DAO. So and shout out again to David Erlichman. I had a great time to interview him. I think you will enjoy also the interview, guys, if you go into the video description. Very great builder at the heart of this ads protocol. And a fantastic book also, Impact Network. And he was a first manager of the Converge network, and you will learn about that into other video for sure also. So all is connected. We are here with Zaal today again. Amazing, this ads tree, and we love all what is graphical at NovaCrypto. Thank you, Zaal, for all this fantastic organization with the ZAO Fractal. There is a long way to go, and you are going step by step, entrepreneurial mindset. That's very needed to not burn the steps and exactly do one stone after other stone. Don't begin a stone before to finish the other stone, and always very agile, taking in account the advice of others and creating a very agile organization. So at NovaCrypto, what we are doing, as you see, we do the interviews of Web3 builders, but more than the video and the timestamp into the video, we map out all the links. So this video will be on the mind map, the MP3, all the links of ZAO Fractal that Zaal will give me also will be in it. That's not only me creating the mind map, that's also the Web3 builder sending their links to the mind map. And we name it Fractal Data Collector. That's what it is. Also, it's about graph, and that will become also a cockpit platform for entities, DAOs, to analyze and extract key performance indicators. Here you see we have already ZAO Fractal. When we click on this node, that goes on the website. Basically, I click, it's open a new tab, and that goes on the website. Here we are again. Shout out to those artists, Shangon, Hu, Lozi, shout out to you, and the other creators here. Yeah, let's see. Wow, nice. We have Clehan, musician, Nessie, the Rila. Sorry for my pronunciation, but shout out to all those great artists, and it's growing. It's growing. So, and like the mind map, the fractal data collector that will grow. So here there will be the tree of ZAO Fractal. There will be also Let's Grow network. And my goal is all to, as I said, to include the video into the mind map. So you will have the video here, a YouTube video. You click on it, and that's open a new tab, and that's play the video. And the beauty of this mind map is also, okay, you can zoom out, drag and drop, very easy. It's an HTML page. So the fact that it is an HTML page accessible from fractalden.net. FractalDen means for Fractal Digital Extended Networks, DEN. And we are in fractals, and now we have this fractal data collector HTML. It's an HTML5 page, and it's very indexable by the search engine on the internet, like Google search engine, and that's make like good SEO. We are in building of the main website FractalDen, and we will have on this website later on the fractal data collector that will be accessible, that will facilitate the verification of contributions and activities in decentralized networks through a method known as proof of actions beyond traditional proof of work, because we want to prove that the people are doing the work, and what better to have those links indeed into this mind map.
Have our next ZAO Festivals event happening in Miami for Art Basel, happening in December, on December 6th. So I'm very stoked for that. We got a lot of individuals contributing in a lot of different ways. So it's been awesome to plan this event, and I'm very excited for it.
We will find all the link. Yeah? I will ask you all the links, very relevant, that we will include. And yeah, you are on NovaCrypto YouTube channel. It's growing step by step, surely. And we do that with heart, soul, and mind. It's all about that. Not have the eyes bigger than the body. Do the things very straight, and very happy to be with you today.
Oh, it was great chatting with you. I had a fun time. So we have a saying in the ZAO. It's ZAO Wow.
ZAO Wow.
That's our go-to ZAO. This is our logo right here. The ZAO. This is from our event in New York. But ZAO Wow is how we usually exit our interviews.
I will add even yeah, baby. I love ZAO. Wow. Okay. Go ZAO Wow.
Okay.
And yeah, baby. Very important.
Okay. Sounds
okay.
Good.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, and 0. Let's go.
ZAO.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
baby.
baby.
I love it.
Thank you,
It was
Zaal, to be
awesome.
with us today. That was a
Thank
pleasure,
you.
really,
Thank
real
you.
pleasure. Thank you very much. See you soon and take care.
Yes, sir.
Bye.